A grotesque new bombshell linking Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein just went off, and frankly, I'm not sure if I should tell you to have a hazmat suit or an airsick bag on hand. Maybe both. I'm David Reddish. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. And yes, by popular demand, I'm wearing the pearls. The saga of the Epstein files continues. Earlier today, Epstein's accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell penned an open letter to Congress detailing her demands before she testifies. See our other videos on the channel for more. Also, Donald Trump, while visiting Scotland, made this little Freudian slip.
That was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth. And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island. Yeah.
A privilege. A privilege. Well, that shows where Trump's head is at, doesn't it? At least one of them. And be warned, it gets even grosser. Earlier today, apparently attempting to help clear the air and affirm that he had no knowledge whatsoever of Epstein's victimization of young girls. This, after Epstein once bragged about he and Trump sharing sex partners. Again, more on that in our other videos. Trump also revealed that the real reason he cut ties with Epstein was not because he found out his bestie was running a human trafficking ring.
Except if taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were.
Yes, they were young women? What did they do?
In the spa.
Jobs in the spa?
Yeah, people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago. And people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine, and then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people, yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us.
And if you think that's gross, that Trump only cut Epstein off because he stole an employee, an underage one no less, you're about to be really upset. The ick factor in this whole saga is one of the worst I've seen in American history. And now, it just got even more disgusting. Today, author Michael Wolff, who has chronicled Trump's life and presidency, and long maintained that photographic evidence of Trump engaged with naked victims exists, Michael Wolff just made another horrifying revelation. Speaking to the Midas Touch podcast, Wolff now claims that not only do numerous of photos of Trump with nude Epstein victims exist, he's seen them in graphic detail.
But at any rate, at one point, after Trump had been elected, I was sitting talking to Epstein, and he said, wait a minute, I got to show you something. And then he went into his safe, and he came out with photographs. They were Polaroids, I think. And he kind of spread them out like playing cards. And it was Trump. I mean, I think there were a dozen of them, and it was Trump with girls of an uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, where all of the things that he would ultimately be accused of took place. And I remember very vividly 3 of them. There are 2 in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a 3rd in which he has a stain on the front of his pants, and the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing, covering
their mouths.
Yeah, exactly, and pointing. 3 or 4 girls, and those are the ones I specifically remember. And my assumption is that they were in the safe, and I have seen them on other occasions take them out of the safe. And I think it's certainly not unlikely that they were in the safe when the FBI came in after his arrest and took everything from the house, including everything that was in the safe.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Not only did Epstein have numerous photos of Trump with underage women, in at least one picture, he looked as though he had, shall we say, personal fluid on his pants. I don't want to get caught by the YouTube algorithm. Look, if this is true, if these photos do exist, they're almost assuredly part of the Epstein files now held by the FBI and Department of Justice. No wonder Trump is now calling the whole thing a hoax, especially after Pam Bondi warned him that he appears prominently in the files. And in the case of these alleged photos, prominently feels like an understatement. The tide is turning against the sexual predator taco president. We will keep you informed as this story continues to develop. This is Occupy Democrats.